The world depends on agriculture, but farming isn't just hard work. It's innovation, strategy, business. This is the Wylie AgCast, where we dive into everything that drives modern agriculture. From the latest advancements in ag tech to the business strategy shaping the industry, we cover tools, trends, and challenges that matter to you. Sit back, relax, and tune in.
Welcome to the Wylie AgCast. I'm here with our very own marketing manager for Wylie, Mr. Cody West. Cody, how you doing today?
Good. Excited to be here.
Yeah.
Had to come across the hall for this one.
Right. So today I just wanted to kind of talk about Wylie, kind of introduce the podcast a little bit, kind of talk about why we wanted to do it.
Sure.
I know why, but in your own words, why do you think this is a good thing to do?
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously it's, 2025. Podcasting is a growing medium. I think it's becoming more and more popular. Long-form type interviews are becoming more commonplace. And, I mean, why not, with a company like ours, start up a podcast and tell the world about the world of Wylie.
Yep, very true. So how'd you get it drawn into the ag industry?
Well, I really was hired here because I come from an advertising background.
Right.
So I don't have a background in agriculture, even though I grew up in West Texas, where I grew up kind of in the oil field.
Right.
All of my family worked in the oil field in the Permian Basin, but I gravitated toward radio. And from the time I was a kid, just really was fascinated by radio. And I loved listening to DJs. I loved listening to sports broadcasting. My grandpa and I would listen to the hometown football team on Friday nights, on the radio. I grew up doing that with him when we couldn't go to the games. And just always was, kind of enamored with radio. And then when I had a chance to go to work in radio back in 2001, jumped at it and spent 20-something years in radio. So the advertising background is kind of what drew me to Wylie. So they were looking to replace Jim Thompson, who was a longtime marketing manager here. And I came across the job posting. Wasn't even really looking for a job, but I came across it and I thought, man, that fits me like a glove. And the job description sounded like me. So I threw my name in the hat.
Yeah, there you go.
Had a couple of interviews and got hired, and that's been 5.5 years ago. And, it's been just wonderful for me. I really do enjoy my time here. I've told people it's like love at first sight. Like as soon as I came to work here, I fell in love with this company. And it's not just the people, but it's just kind of what we do, and I feel like I fit in right away. And using my skills and tools and the things that I bring to the table, along with all the things I've learned since I've been here, we just try to promote the brand and make the company better every day. And that's kind of my goal. Awesome. And what's crazy is they hired me because I was an advertising guy, but honestly, that's just a small part of it. And that's just a small part of what we do here in the marketing department.
That is very true.
Yeah. So we do the advertising, but it's not all of it. That's for sure. So I've learned a lot. I know you're learning a lot.
Oh, yeah.
And I haven't stopped learning. I've been here 5.5 years, and there's so much that we do equipment-wise, not only as a manufacturer, but also as a dealer of other brands, such as like Case IH. But then also, just the ag business, the construction business. It's there's a lot to it.
Oh, yeah.
The manufacturing business.
Mm-hmm. So going back in time for Wylie, what problem got Wylie started? What problem did they solve?
Yeah, so since probably Adam and Eve. Farmers have been battling weeds. I don't know if there were weeds in the Garden of Eden, but there probably were.
Probably afterwards.
So the thing is, farmers have battled weeds from the beginning of time, since man discovered that they could grow food. And, it was back in the 60s that chemical weed control came about. Scientists discovered, chemicals that would kill weeds. And, Loy Wylie, who lived in Petersburg, Texas at the time and had a little business there, innovated a way to spray those chemicals onto weeds, and so that's kind of where Wylie sprayers started and how it started. But the problem was weeds.
Yep.
And still is to this day, and I'm guessing it always will be.
More than likely. Yep.
Yeah.
So how has Wylie really been able to impact farmers specifically?
Well, to me, it's it's all about relationships, and we sell products nationwide. Some of our industrial products we sell worldwide, but the company was built, was started in West Texas, and it was built off of relationships, and not only building quality equipment, but also taking care of our customers, with those relationships, helping farmers solve their problems, help farmers have a productive crop,
Right.
Every year. And because our products were built in West Texas at the time and still are, and Wylie sold to West Texas farmers, it was a great partnership. And then we've grown over the years into what it is now, and a company that's spread out across Texas and Oklahoma with retail locations, at every end of the state. But also, there's a culture where, we just try to treat people with respect, take care of our customers, and we are primarily an ag business first, but,
Sure.
We sell pressure washers to guys who have car washing businesses.
Mm-hmm.
And we sell water trailers to rental companies, and we try to have that same relationship, kind of carry that farming ag mentality into the rest of the stuff that we do.
Sure. So building relationships and growing the business outside of agriculture, how did Case IH get involved?
That was way before my time, but I do know that Scott Wylie, our owner, bought a few dealerships, and I think they were successful. And I'm probably making this very it's a simplified version of the story, but I think they became successful, and then he grew that, so he bought several dealerships across the state of Texas and then added some too from the ground up. And it's been a great partnership, us with Case, and it's a great product. And I think Scott and the Wylie team at the time probably thought it would be a great fit for us, and best I can tell, it has been.
Sure.
And Case, Wylie built sprayers, but Case added the whole tractor, also self-propelled sprayers, which
Right.
are most common now, combines, planters, all the implement stuff. So that opened up our world to sell a lot of products that we weren't able to before, to a lot of the same customers that we were already selling to.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
But on the fact that Case kind of inducted in and kind of helped support, I wonder if we took anything from Case IH and kind of morphed our own stuff to help.
I think so, and I think that's continuing to happen.
Right.
Right. So, I mean, you've seen it too, where you've taken some ideas from Case and implemented
Sure.
it to the Wylie
Yeah.
brand. And, we've kind of, in the marketing department, have merged a lot of the ideas together. And I think that has probably happened across the board throughout this company and the way that our partnership with Case has worked. And, it's continuing to evolve too. Here
Sure.
at Wylie, we have multiple divisions. We have the manufacturing division. We have the implement division, which is, the Case dealership, and then New Holland as well down in the South Texas
Sure.
stores. But, it's, you kind of see those two divisions kind of coming together, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's a lot of things that happen behind the scenes that the customers may not know, but we're, evolving as a company, and I think, getting better every day.
Yeah. So how has Wylie adapted to modern agriculture to stay on top?
Man, technology is, we talk about self-driving cars.
Yeah.
And I've actually seen, you go to some bigger cities, you see self-driving cars.
Yeah.
It's like a taxi or an Uber. You get on the app and then a car shows up to get you and there's nobody in it. And that's remarkable to a lot of people, right? It's like unbelievable that that's a thing. But in reality, tractors have been driving themselves for several years, right? For many years. And so the ag industry has stayed on top of technology, and that is something that will continue to evolve and develop. And farmers are always looking for ways to, save money, make better, yields on their crop,
Sure.
this, that, and the other. And so, we've tried to embrace that. And Case IH does a great job of that as well. They have, a lot of technology in their tractors, sprayers, combines. That's continuing to grow. They've partnered with Raven, and now, the possibilities are endless there on the Case stuff, but also on the Wylie stuff. We've added a partnership with Weed It, which is a weed sensing technology that you put on your sprayer, and you have a spray boom, and then every few feet along your boom, you have a sensor, and it scans the ground for living plant matter, and when it sees it, it sprays it. Mm-hmm. So you're not just broadcast spraying dirt and wasting chemical, you're spraying just the plant,
Sure.
So you could drive along a field after it's been harvested and kill out the weeds, or fallow land, and they're working on some stuff for row crops where it'll spray a weed but not the cotton plant or whatever,
Right.
So the technology there is endless. Again, I mentioned self-driving stuff. It's kind of at a point now where you could, as a farmer, have tractors out in the field with nobody driving them. They're working.
Just crazy.
You're in the pickup with an iPad,
Yeah.
kind of monitoring what's going on out there.
Yeah.
And GPS and satellites, and things link up in space, and your tractor does what it does. So it's pretty remarkable.
Yeah.
And it's only gonna. I can't imagine what's coming in the future, but as a company, we've tried to stay on top of all of that stuff, and not only stay true to our values and remember what got us here, but also Wylie was an innovative guy. He was somebody who, was an idea man. Best I can tell. I never did have the chance to meet him, but he was an innovator. And so why not continue that legacy of being innovative, with the stuff that we do?
So what are the values of Wylie? What would you say we really stand for?
It's kind of, I've touched on it already, but it's, I think building quality equipment.
Right.
And, Scott, I hope would agree with this, but, he may give you a different answer. But, building quality equipment, treating people with respect. Like he says at the end of every radio commercial you've ever heard for Wylie, it's like, we'll try hard to earn your business and even harder to keep it. And that's it. That's all. I think it says a lot in a few words, right? Mm-hmm. So when our HR department and our store managers and our upper management are looking to hire people, there's a common saying that I've heard many times. It's like, he seems like a Wylie guy, and it's like, does he kind of fit those values, right? So we try to recruit and hire people that kind of align with, with that. So because we are a manufacturer of equipment, especially in the manufacturing division, you want people that want to build those quality products, that want to take pride in their work. And we're building these things in Petersburg, Texas, but they're getting shipped out to the world. Yeah. So, you may be turning wrenches in Petersburg at our manufacturing plant, but there's somebody somewhere that's going to be using that equipment, and
Sure.
and you want it, you want it to be good quality stuff when they get it,
Right.
And, we have a lot of repeat customers because of that, because they get Wylie equipment, lasts them a long time, does them a good job, and then they'll come back.
Well, sure.
So I think that's, you talk about just the values and our overall way of doing things, and to me that's it. Again, Scott Wylie could probably give you a better answer than me. Jason Fisher could probably give you a better answer than me. But, to me, that's just what I see.
Right.
I think that we build good stuff. We treat people with respect. We take care of our customers. We try to take care of our employees. And, to me, it's a bigger company that feels like a small company, right?
Right,
When you get
right.
inside of it, right?
Yeah.
When you work here. So it feels a little bit like family. And because we're so spread out, you don't get to see everybody all the time.
Sure.
And there are people within our company that don't get to interact with each other all the time. But like people like you and I in marketing, we get to deal with everybody, whether it's
Yeah,
on the Case IH implement side or the manufacturing side, all the stores, everyone in the office and the corporate offices. We get to work with everyone. So it just kind of feels like a big family to me. And it may not to everyone that works here, but to me it does.
Right. Well, I'd have to agree. 'Cause
Yeah.
since the day I walked in, it just, felt like home, felt like,
Yeah.
this is definitely not your usual giant company.
Yeah. And, we're kind of living in a world right now where, especially, with younger people entering the workforce, they want, it kind of seems to me like, as a parent of a young person who's entering the workforce, it kind of seems to me like people want a place like this, right? They want to work in a place where they can feel valued.
Sure.
Of course, everybody wants to make money, but more importantly, you want to feel like you have a sense of purpose, right?
Right.
So to me, this company, it gave me that. And I see the other people here that work at Wylie, and I think it fulfills that. We are doing something,
Sure.
that makes a difference. We're doing something of significance. And because we are primarily an ag equipment company, we're helping farmers feed and clothe the world. Farmers got a farm.
Yeah.
And if they don't, people don't have jeans to wear and they don't have food to eat,
Exactly.
And so we are helping farmers do what they do, which is feed and clothe the entire world. And so there's purpose in that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So what are some of the biggest challenges you specifically have faced marketing and specifically agriculture?
Yeah, it's because, to me, what we sell isn't something that everyone, if you see a sprayer on the side of the road or alpha in a field, a lot of people may not even know what it is.
Right.
So, when it comes to marketing and advertising our products, the digital world has completely changed for the better the way a company like ours markets itself. Right? Because before you had TV, radio, billboards, newspaper. That was kind of the big four, not necessarily in that order. For 100 years, newspaper was the big one. And like I mentioned, I came from radio.
Sure.
So, that was how you got the word out about your business, other than word of mouth. You may have a sign out front or, other things, business cards, whatnot. But the big four were TV, radio, billboards, newspaper. Well, that's kind of casting a broad net, and they were effective in their own right. But now we can target potential customers. I mean, we're not a company that should market to, we shouldn't cast a broad net. We should try to target who we're going after. And the digital marketplace allows us to do that.
Right.
And it's amazing. I mean, not only with, just placement ads in Google or social media, but also streaming television is becoming more and more popular. I think that's the future of TV. Obviously everyone is on a streaming service now.
Right.
And if you're like my house, you've got all the streaming services.
Just about, yep.
Pay more in streaming services than we ever did for cable,
Oh, yeah.
But, we're able now to target people who work in agriculture, target people who are past customers, target people who have purchased tractors in the past, whether it's for a big farm or small acreage or whatever it is. We can collect that data and then show them ads. And whether people realize it or not, your phone is listening to you.
Oh, of course.
And everyone pretty much has a custom ad campaign that's built specifically for you. Mm-hmm. If you have a phone or a tablet or a computer, you have a custom ad campaign that's built for you. The things that you see in the digital space are the things that you're interested in, right? You click on this, you search for that, you're watching this, and your phone or computer is collecting all that data so they can show you advertising on things that you're interested in.
Right.
So if you're interested in tractors or sprayers and you're looking that up, or you're watching videos, or you've clicked on an ad in the past, the algorithm is going to let us know, hey, that's a potential customer, we can target him or her.
Yeah.
And that's changed the game completely for a company like ours, to be able to show ads or put our company images, videos, audio, like a podcast, in front of people who may be interested in what we sell.
Yeah.
So that's a big deal.
Yeah. I mean, and you're totally right, because I click on one video of somebody wrapping a present or something, and then I get like
I know
100 more.
I know.
I didn't ask for it.
Yeah, search for a pair of sunglasses or something, and then you'll just start seeing ads for sunglasses.
It will.
That's the world we're living in,
Yeah.
and it's weird for a lot of older people. For younger people, it's just the way the world is now.
Yeah, just born into it.
But at the same time, for a business like ours, who's so spread out, who offers, such a wide array of products,
right?
It's great. The digital market space is the future.
How do you feel about the ethics of it? As far as privacy and
so I saw something on the internet one time that said, before the internet, people were afraid that the government was wiretapping our phones, right? They're listening to our conversations.
Yeah.
That was actually a thing, right? Before the internet, people thought, man, they're listening to our conversations when they're wiretapping the phones.
Yeah.
And I think that was illegal to wiretap phones. And then they said that we went from being afraid that our phones were being tapped for whatever the reason to having an Alexa device sitting on the counter listening to every conversation that we have in our kitchen. So, and then the joke was there's a lady making pancakes and she says, hey, wiretap, give me a recipe for pancakes. So it's like, it's just always listening to you. And I think hopefully, there's enough regulations and oversight there to keep bad things from happening to people.
Sure.
But it is a very, very powerful advertising tool.
Yeah.
For a company like ours.
Yeah.
So when you buy a phone, you agree to that stuff. And when you buy a tablet, you agree to it. So
that's true.
And when you set up your Gmail account or Google account or whatever, or
I think they actually ask you too, right at the beginning.
They do ask you, and everybody says yes.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the world we live in. A company like ours, from a marketing perspective, is able to take advantage of that. But yeah, see, from the other side, from the consumer side, it's like you're collecting my private information.
Exactly.
And all of our sales leads, so if you go to wyliesprayers.com and fill out a contact us form or a request a quote, or if you click on one of our social media ads and we get your information, all of that comes to me. I see all of it. And I do get some people saying, stop sending me this, or why are you showing me that, or, this, that, and the other, because you can kind of tell that they feel a little bit like, hey, you've overstepped a little bit, but it's just not me. It's just the computer doing it, you know. But every now and then you'll get something from somebody who says, you know, I'm not interested. I'm like, well, you took the time to type that you're not interested.
Yeah,
so
that
you
kinda...
must really not be interested. But for the most part, it has been a game changer for us and generating sales leads and getting our images, our company brand, and our products in front of people that would never know about us otherwise.
Sure. Has some of that technology integrated into farming specifically?
I don't know, probably. I would think so. And again, I don't come from an agriculture background, so you'd probably have to get a farmer in here to talk about that. But those guys I'm sure they're doing things that we don't even know about when it comes to, you know, technology and the digital world. In addition to the stuff in their equipment, I'm sure that there's all kinds of stuff out there that I don't even know about. But it's
I'm sure.
Yeah, it's farmers are at least the successful ones are usually very, very smart guys.
Oh yeah,
and women, but smart people,
definitely.
Good people,
Definitely.
Yep.
And that has definitely been my experience so far.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, every single one of them has just always been real down to earth, and
I think so.
Just generally good people.
And it seems common. It seems like a common thread, no matter where they're from, because you can be in West Texas, South Texas, Oklahoma, you know, and they're all similar type people, right?
Right. Yeah.
And I think, you know, they're conservators of the land. They're here to take care of the environment and the land. And sometimes they get a bad rap, you know, but it's like, no, like these are at least the farmers I know truly care about the land and the earth and what they're leaving for the future. You know, these are smart people who grow crops. And we talked earlier about how, you know, I've learned every day since I've been at Wylie. I mean, that's really kind of where I want to grow more, is learning more about farming and learning more about agriculture. Right. There's a lot to it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It'd take me a lifetime to get the hang of it.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of fun. It's a whole lot of fun. But
what's funny is I was thinking about the other day when we were trying to come up with a new ad concept, and one of my ad concepts were, you know, wanted to kind of run some digital ads that you know, brought attention to our weed sprayers and pasture sprayers, and I was going to use the headline, "Got a weed problem," and I built the whole thing and I sent it, you know, to you, and then you come back and you're like, "Are you sure you want to use that headline?" And I'm like, "Yeah, why not?" Well, reread it. Got a weed problem? Yeah, because I could be taken another way.
Yeah. Well.
But anyway, you know, just kind of coming full circle from the weed talk in the beginning of our conversation today to the end of it. I mean, you know, every farmer has a weed problem.
Sure. I mean, they always will. I don't know if there's ever a real solution to fix that problem, but
Wylie sprayers.
Well, hey,
that's the best solution so far.
That is true. So what does the future of Wylie look like?
Man, this is a company that I think will continue to grow. The company is healthy, best I can tell. We just built a new location in South Texas, you know, so we're expanding. That new location is a full line Wylie implement and spray center that carries everything that we sell, including New Holland ag equipment and New Holland construction equipment, in addition to the Case IH and the Wylie sprayers. And, you know, that location, I think, is going to be hopefully a model for what, you know, the rest of our retail locations can become. But also, I view us having a larger presence online. I think we, you know, can grow through the internet. And, you know, I think the future is great. The future is bright for this company. We've got great leadership. I love my bosses, you know, and these guys know what they're doing, and trust them. And I feel like this company has got a bright future. we've come a long way in the last, 50 years, 60 years.
Yeah.
From 1964 when Mr. Wylie started building sprayers. We've come a long way, but man, I'm real excited about the future. So hopefully we can recruit some other Wylie guys. I used that term earlier. You recruit some other Wylie guys to sit in on our podcast. But you and I had also talked about maybe visiting with some vendors, hopefully getting some customers in here to talk farming, talk agriculture. I'm really excited about, you talk about the future. I'm excited about the future of this podcast.
Yeah, well, me too. I would, as somebody who's not got an agricultural background, listening to a podcast that talks about it in a way that, is understandable.
Sure.
Just bring a whole light to what agriculture really actually is. I'm sure there's a lot of people that didn't even know how technologically advanced it was.
That's right.
So, there's a lot to learn. So.
Absolutely.
Alrighty.
Well, I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thanks for listening. To learn more about Wylie Implement and Spray Center, head over to www.wyliesprayers.com. As always, keep farming.